If there's one thing everybody agrees with about Jokic, undisputably the best passing big man the game has ever seen, insane IQ, super composed, knows where to throw the ball to teammates before they get to their spots, a basketball magician out there, the two-time MVP and soon to be NBA champion, continues to post triple doubles. In the realm of the game, every type of pass you thought you've seen, Jokic has done. No need to show any of his other highlights. When his career said and done, possibly over 10 hours of Jokic passing clips makes your jaw drop. The precision and on target every dime he makes, absolutely a basketball generational phenom, a combination of Bird and Magic put into Brian Reeves' body, the basketball savant, the next revolutionary player after Steph Curry. Even 8 years ago, nobody ever thought it'd be possible for a point guard to ever be better than Magic Johnson. Steph still making his case, and even a year ago, nobody believed there would ever be a better passer than Magic himself. The next Jokic conversation ain't whether he's the best passing big man ever, but will Jokic simply become the best passer ever? That's a topic for another day. How's it going, guys? My name's Wilson. Outside of Nikola, some of the best passers in today's game includes Sabonis on verse becoming a top 10 passing center all time, Karl Anthony Towns, Alperen Sengun on his way to becoming truly special, Al Horford's incredible IQ doesn't get enough credit for his play, Bam Adebayo super versatile, already 2 seasons, putting up over 5 dimes a game, a more spread out NBA, absolutely vital for any big men to pass out a double team, make their teammates better. Throughout the history of the league, all the great big men who paved the way for the modern Jokic, many tremendous passers that get swept under the rug. Jokic, the 5th most assists all time for a center, just 3 full seasons away if he averages at least 8 dimes the next 240 games. Depending how long Jokic decides to play, might double Jabbar's assist mark when he retires. Now, let's take a look at 10 of the greatest passing centers all time. Number 10, Wes Unseld of the Washington Bullets, 6'7", still the most decorated player for the NBA's nation's capital, averaged 3.9 dimes in 13 seasons, best known for the incredible outlet pass, his signature skill set leading for easy fast break points, flinging the ball immediately after touching his hands. Nobody in the history of the game to this day does it better than the YU, one of the greatest rebounders in the game. After a missed shot, Kevin Love's godfather, who modeled that incredible skill after his dad's former teammate, his overhead throws as accurate as some of the best quarterbacks. Many of his passes leading to easy buckets weren't always direct assists, but allowed guys to get ahead. An enforcer, led his team to 4 different finals, a former finals MVP winner. Everybody who watched him in the 70s, whether teammates, other players or fans, had nothing but positive things to say about the 6'7", 245-pound center. Number 9, Alvin Adams. Even after the 2023 regular season, 99% of you would have no idea. Adams, one of 4 centers to still have more total assists than Jokic. The former Phoenix Suns legend, spent all 13 seasons with the franchise, former Rookie of the Year winner, also the starting center in the NBA Finals, averages 5.6 dimes his very first season, most in 76 for a rookie, regardless of position, 4.1 dimes for his career, a master at the dribble handoffs, way ahead of his time, would absolutely flourish in today's game, always a knack for finding teammates from the high post, fast decision making on the break, a historical rookie season still gets swept under the rug, his assist percentage of 27.2 in year 1, the highest for a center until 2004, super fundamentally sound, any coach's dream. Although a forgotten name, ask anybody who watched the 70s and 80s NBA will tell you about Adams' incredible touch and IQ. 8. Bill Russell, the winningest player in all of professional sports. Aside from being the best leader and defender, his offense super transcendent. It's not all about his Hall of Fame teammates scoring easily, but Russell's ability to set everybody up, pushing the pace offensively after a rebound. Russell could care less about stats. The only stat he cared about was winning. Him and Wilt, the 2 fastest and most athletic center for their times, the versatility on the break, averaged over 5 dimes in 7 different postseasons, overlooked offensively due to poor shooting numbers, but did all the intangibles from setting picks and finding the right teammates, more postseason games with double-digit assists than having 0, ran the point many times, especially after Cousy retired. No other player influenced the game, helping their team win in more ways than Russell in the 60s. 7. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Aside from holding the all-time scoring title for nearly 39 years, the most decorated center of all time, did plenty of passing the first half of his career. From entering the league till the 1980 season, Cap averaged 4.5 assists, including 9 seasons dishing out over 4 a game, had no weaknesses, by far the best overall player in the 70s, also still a top 5 player up until the mid-80s. Before the longevity of 38-year-old LeBron, Jabbar's durability, outplaying MVP Bird in the 85 finals, even averaged 5.2 assists for that series. Super capable of the outlet after a rebound, incredible body balance every time he's cooking on the post, always finds his guys at the right spot, has all the fundamentals. Even when it seems like the sky holds on his way, Jabbar ends up passing to an open teammate, super unstoppable every time touching the ball. Most Laker and Buck fans back in the day would want him taking 25 shots, given there's never been an answer for his mastery before the emergence of Jokic. Jabbar for a very long time, still 1,000 more assists total than the second most center in Wilt, and passing probably ranks in the bottom of all of Kareem's incredible skills. Not a pure facilitating big like a Bill Walton, but effective enough opening up the offense. His opponent simply had no answer stopping him. Number 6, Marc Gasol, with older brother Pau up there as a worthy mention. Although Pau played mostly power forward, Marc simply a true center, the engine to the grit and grind grizz, averaged over 4 assists for 4 seasons. Any player with Marc's intangibles would easily go top 5 in any modern draft, a guaranteed good player. Before Jokic, many viewed Gasol as the closest passing big to a Bill Walton, the behind the back, overhead dimes, ability to find cutting teammates, a perfect front line with Zach Randolph. Memphis didn't have any superstars, but always made it tough for all-time greats like Curry and OKC's Durant. Marc's IQ 95% better than most. The heads-up outlet dimes truly underrated for his era. If you're talking about a pure center you won for a good 10-year stretch between 2010 to 2019, the answer is undoubtedly Marc. His dimes on full display, even with the Raptors and Lakers, didn't look to shoot too often, wasn't used effectively in the high post enough under Frank Vogel, gave 2021 LeBron a lot of gorgeous plays, making passes 90% of bigs can only dream of. Not the flashiest of guys, but the ability to move the ball at the right spots, always a step ahead. The league started to become way more widespread with the Dynasty Warriors when Marc was already in his 30s and aging a bit. His ability to adapt as the game changed, a true professional, highly considered as the best passing center before Jokic entered the league. 5. Vlade Divac, way ahead of his time. There's a reason why he's in the Basketball Hall of Fame, a pioneer for European bigs impacting the league, even averaged the career best 5.3 dimes in the 04 season, the type of guy any team would love to have, brought plenty of joy to the game, the bounce passes to the cutting Mike Bibby, the best front court chemistry with another elite passing big power forward Chris Webber, both flawless, still the best passing big man duo the game has ever seen. The 2000s Kings way ahead of his time and doesn't get the credit for their unbelievable team play due to never winning a title, refs and injuries the cause of their demise. Divac's one of the best instincts. His numbers would be way better in today's game. From the time he entered the league, all players listed 7 foot plus, none averaged more dimes per 36 minutes other than the Gasol brothers than Vlade. Don't forget, Jokic listed 6'11". The unselfish brand of European style certainly paved the way for all-time generational talents more than a full decade after Divac's time in the NBA. 4. Wilt Chamberlain became the first center to lead the league in total assists 1968. The Big Dipper, once considered a selfish and just a scorer, the biggest statistical anomaly the game will ever see. The scoring and rebounding, we know he's elite, but just proving he can also lead the league in dimes just because he wanted to prove that others wrong. Also played with the Harlem Globetrotters. Drew behind the back passes before it was a real ding. The excellent handoff to the cutters every time Wilt controlled the ball. Opponents literally didn't know what to do. The best rebounder also in the game. The combination of the lethal outlet. When he started scoring less, that's when his team's most successful, the latter part of his career. Basketball simply too easy for Wilt. Did whatever he wanted. Amazing hand-eye coordination. To average at least 4 assists 9 times, no matter what era, Chamberlain would absolutely dominate and toy with everybody. A physical specimen who excelled in every way imaginable. 3. Arvydas Sabonis. Way ahead of his time, the biggest what if came to the NBA at 31, already past his prime with numerous injuries, the 7-3 passing genius, an absolute work of art, the no look behind the backs, transition outlets, his athleticism declined rapidly after an Achilles tear in 1986, even in his older days, the overhead dishes, outstanding abilities to put the ball on the floor and make the right plays, the closest big to resemble Jokic, while son Domantas Sabonis, arguably the second best passing center in the game today, wasn't even as great as Pops. Arvydas 4 inches taller than Joker, with long range shooting plus defense, tough as nails. His win now mentality caused him to age 5 years older, played through severe pain throughout the 90s. The instant bounce passes to his cutting teammates on the post, only Jokic in today's big man league can duplicate all of Arvydas' skills. The Lithuanian prodigy, many believe would have competed against Jordan in the finals had he been on those Blazers teams earlier. The fact that he wasn't even 70% of his former self in the NBA, had no knees left, and still put on an incredible clinic. We were all robbed of all-time greatness. The European sensation couldn't leave the Soviet Union with the war going on. Some truly believe he'd be a top 10 to top 15 player all-time, won the gold medal in '88. Throughout the mid to late 80s and early 90s, many truly believed Sabonis was already a top 10 player in the game, maybe even top 5. 2. Bill Walton. Big Red's supposed to dominate the NBA for years and be in contention for best player, battling with Kareem, having an insanely short tenure, the one season healthy throughout the postseason. 1977, literally carried the 49-win Blazers on his shoulder, being the most complete center in the game, super unselfish. Walton can care less whether he had 30 points or dropped 8, made teammates look like all-stars. Even to this day, Big Bill still the only player on the 77 title team to make the Hall of Fame. Averaged 5 assists during his MVP season. Some went as far as saying Walton had a top 5 peak of any center all time. Much more athletic and way better on D than Joker. There's not more than 10 prospects as hyped as Big Red. Super fundamentally sound, flipping the ball over his head, always on target, read the game extremely well, able to stay fully healthy for the '86 Celtics, the 6-man winner, a cheat code for arguably the best team all time. Teammate Larry Bird went as far to say Walton's the best passer he has ever seen in his life. His body completely broke down by '87, otherwise a likely Boston repeat, a perfectionist, as fundamentally sound on all aspects of the game as any center there was. Number 1, Nikola Jokic. On his way to becoming one of the greatest offensive centers all time, seeing the best player in the game this decade that can pass this flawlessly, since we were all robbed of prime Bill Walton and the amount of rings he could have won. No matter which team Big Red was drafted to, they were going to be champions at least one time before he broke down, and Arvydas' game would have easily translated. 7-footers who can dish better than almost all point guards, virtually unstoppable, and a pleasure to see basketball greatness unfold. Honorable mentions includes Brad Daugherty, Tom Boerwinkle, Tim Duncan, Marcus Camby, Brad Miller, Jack Sigma, Joakim Noah, DeMarcus Cousins, Andrew Bogut, Yao Ming, Sam Lacey, Dave Cowens. Which one of these centers the most underrated passer all time that never gets talked about? While Alperen Sengun on the rise could become the next best passing big after Jokic.